Today, we'll break down the story of From Season 3, Episode 6. We've already explained the first 5 episodes. The episode begins with Jim and Tabitha. Tabitha is unable to sleep and is standing near the window. Jim asks her why she isn't sleeping, and she tells him that she just can't fall asleep. Jim advises her to let go of the past and says there's no point dwelling on old memories. Tabitha responds that he doesn't understand what she went through and how unbearable it was for her. Jim then starts sharing his own perspective, saying that when she left, he had to endure everything alone. He tells her that he suffered too and had to take care of their children by himself. He accuses Tabitha of leaving everyone behind, abandoning them. In her defense, Tabitha explains that she was also trying to protect their children, which is why she had come to this place. And the argument between the two of them escalated. Because of this, Jim leaves Tabitha alone and walks away. In the morning, Julie asks her mom where her dad went. Her mom tells her that her dad has gone out and will return by tomorrow morning. Julia says, "I heard both of you shouting at night." Tabitha replies, "We weren't shouting." Julie doesn't respond to this and walks away. We then see Jade standing near Boyd. Jade has gathered a lot of numbers here and is trying to arrange them in the correct pattern to find some clue about what happens to people after they enter that tree. However, he isn't able to form any proper pattern. Jade then tells Boyd that the tree works like a wormhole, and these numbers represent different years. But Boyd finds all of this to be nonsensical. Jade mentioned that Miranda had already figured out about this place because she had dreams about it. In her dreams, she had seen this tree with a bottle hanging on it. Boyd comments, "What if it's not the same tree? I once saw a bottle with 1864 written inside it." To this, Jade responds, "Then we must find that other tree somewhere." We then see Victor with his father in a location. Henry starts asking Victor, "Did you used to stay alone in this room before?" Victor replies, "Yes, I used to stay here alone." Victor then says, "I'm going far away from here." To this, Henry replies, "I want to come with you." Victor responds, "What I'm about to do is a bit dangerous, but you can come with me for a little while." The father and son then leave the place together. Next, we see Moriel and Kenny. Kenny is helping Moriel with her work. Moriel tells Kenny, "Take a little rest. If I need your help, I'll call you." Kenny then steps outside, where he runs into Boyd. Boyd checks in on Kenny and says, "If you want to talk to me, especially about your mom, you can." But Kenny says, "No, I'm completely fine," and walks away. Then Boyd arrives at the clinic, where Randall has already been admitted. Slowly but surely, Randall is recovering. Boyd doesn't go near him, but Christy, who is also gradually recovering, approaches Boyd. Boyd tells her, "You should have been resting." Christy responds, "I have rested," and she also says that Randall will recover completely soon. Boyd also talks about Fatima, suggesting that Christy should go and meet her. Christy agrees, saying, "Yes, I will definitely meet her." We then see Fatima, with Ellis by her side. Fatima seems a bit troubled and has told Ellis everything about how she is feeling, especially her worries regarding the baby. Ellis wants to take her to Christy, but Fatima refuses, saying, "I won't go to Christy because I am already scared, and if everyone finds out about me, they'll look at me in a strange way." Alice replies, "I know you're scared, but I'm just as frightened as you are. Still, we have to find a solution to this situation, and we must tell someone about it. We should go to Christy." Suddenly, there's a knock on the door. It's Boyd. Alice opened the door and brought her father in. He then explains everything to Boyd, especially how Fatima is deeply worried and scared about their baby. In another scene, we see Donna near the swimming pool, placing stones at the spot where Dale died. At this moment, Tabitha arrives and apologizes to Donna, saying, "Maybe Dale's death is because of me." Donna reassures her, "Don't think like that. You didn't do anything wrong. That meeting was hard for you." Tabitha, with guilt, responds, I should have explained everything that happened to me there, and why no one believed what I said. Donna replies, it's good the meeting members didn't believe you. If they had, they might have ended up like Dale. At least we've learned something from this, so don't stress yourself too much. The focus shifts to Victor and Henry, who arrive at the mouth of a cave. Victor says, I need to save everyone, no matter what. He turns to his father and says, this is the end of our journey. You should go back while I enter the cave. But Henry insists, no, I'm coming with you. Victor warns about the danger, but Henry refuses to stay behind. So the father and son venture into the cave. As they go further in, Victor instructs his father to stay silent. He carries small wooden tags, placing them at intervals to mark their path and ensure they can find their way out. Together, they proceed deeper into the cave. Henry sees a room ahead, but feels incredibly frightened. He even suggests to Victor that they should turn back. Victor, however, disagrees, insisting, I came here for something, and I will take it with me. He ventures further into the cave until he reaches the room, where he finds the object of his search, a dummy toy named Jasper. Victor puts the Jasper toy into his bag and begins to leave. But just then, monsters appear and taunt him, saying, you won't be able to save anyone. Both Henry and Victor become terrified. They hurriedly flee the cave and manage to escape. Outside, Boyd is still sitting beside Fatima, with Ellis present as well. Boyd tries to comfort Fatima, telling her there's no need to worry, because Christy has a machine capable of testing her pregnancy, which was found in the ambulance. Boyd offers to take her to Christy, but Fatima, overcome with anxiety, refuses to leave. Ellis eventually persuades her after considerable effort. He makes an effort to calm her and says, I'm with you, there's no need to be scared. With that, the three of them start heading toward Christy. In another scene, we see Moriel with Randall. She is there to change his bandages and inspect his wound for any signs of infection. Slowly she removes the bandages and informs Randall that he's fully healed and there's no infection in his wound. Randall then asks to see his face, so Moriel brings him a mirror. Randall looks at himself in it. Kenny is seen searching for a screwdriver, but is unable to find it anywhere. He's currently at his mother's house, although his mother has already passed away. As he steps outside, he notices Julia smoking. Julia asks him not to tell anyone about it. Kenny promises, I won't tell anyone. I'm just trying to find a screwdriver, but I still haven't come across it. Jade then moves toward a different area and comes across a bottle hanging from a tree. There, he runs into Tom, one of his old friends. Tom asks Jade what he's trying to figure out. Jade responds, saying that he wants to get to the root of everything. He's convinced that nothing here is meaningless. Everything has a purpose. That's why he's determined to find answers. Miranda, it turns out, had already seen this vision before. She had seen the tree with the bottle even earlier. Tom then tells Jade that he will never uncover the truth. And with that, he disappears. But Jade doesn't give up. He continues his investigation with determination. Meanwhile, we see Ethan sitting reading a book. Suddenly, his mom Tabitha arrives and asks him, where's Julie has gone? Ethan replies that he doesn't know. Then he starts asking questions about whether Chan's married life is good or not. Tabitha is wondering about her son's odd questions. Suddenly, she hears strange noises coming from the upstairs room. She asks Ethan who's there. He insists no one is upstairs. Tabitha decides to check for herself. As she climbs the stairs, she sees small children who have morphed into monstrous forms. They start calling her by a bizarre name. Horrified, she screams and collapses in fear, sitting down. Ethan rushes to her aid, and the two flee from the house together. The scene shifts to Donna, who is placing stones. Kenny arrives and praises her, saying she's doing a good job because those who died deserved it. Donna sternly tells him he shouldn't be there. Kenny agrees but explains that he came to ask her something, whether there's any space left in Colony House, as he has something important to discuss with her. Kenny shares his feelings, expressing that, while he wants to stay close to his loved ones, he no longer feels comfortable in his mother's house. Donna, noticing his unease, suggests that he can stay at her house instead. Kenny seems slightly uplifted by this gesture and departs. Elsewhere, we find Jade deeply engrossed in deciphering a puzzle. Ethan and his mom approach him and inquire about his activities. Jade reveals that he has come across another tree, similar to the first one, with bottles hanging from its branch. Inside these bottles are messages containing numbers and text that repeat patterns, much like what was found on the first tree. However, Jade admits he is still clueless about their meaning. Tabitha offers her support, telling him not to worry and assuring him that she will assist in solving the mystery. The scene transitions to Moriel, who is attending to Randall. She explains the proper schedule for his medication, instructing him on when to change his bandages and apply the medicine. Randall, visibly annoyed, dismisses her advice, insisting that he knows how to take care of himself. He asks Moriel about her own health and how she is doing. He tells Muriel, "Stop blaming yourself for Nikki's death." Muriel replies, "I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me." He insists, "Don't pretend everything is fine when it isn't. I can see you're struggling." "I never pretend. To be honest, I'm terrified. I even feel scared of being alone now." Muriel responds, "If you're that scared, why do you stay in the bus? Move into the clinic instead." Randall agrees and heads to the bus to collect his belongings. There he met Julia. She asks, "Where are you going?" Randall replies, "I'm going to the clinic. Muriel doesn't want me to be alone." Julia then says, "How's Muriel? Is she okay?" Randall replies, "No, she's not fine. She's just pretending to be fine. She still blames herself for Nikki's death." Henry's father arrives at a specific location. Henry, feeling quite scared, says, "The monsters inside the cave had such strange sounds. I was frightened." Victor replies, "I used to get scared too. When I did, I'd come here to hide." Henry asks, "Were you really alone here?" Victor answers affirmatively. He then takes out a Jasper toy from his bag and places it here, saying to his father, "This is our only savior now. This toy already knows everything, so it will continue to help us." Henry is doubtful, asking how it can help since it's just a small toy. Victor responds, "No, it's not a toy, it's here to help us." Meanwhile, we see Fatima, Alice, and her father arriving at Christie's place. As Christie is taking a pregnancy test, she seems a bit surprised. Boyd asks what happened. Christie reveals that Fatima is not pregnant, leaving Fatima in disbelief. She insists that Christie recheck, but Christie confirms repeatedly that there's no baby. Elgin is taking photos and hanging them when a monster suddenly grabs him from behind. The monster tells Elzin, "If you help me, I'll save everyone," but Elzin doesn't understand what it wants and thinks it's a hallucination. Meanwhile, Jade is seen working with Ethan to decode a mysterious message tied to matching numbers. Tabitha is sitting quietly, lost in thought. While Jade is busy, he asks, "Why do you look so sad?" Tabitha responds, "I'm just so confused. I don't know what to do or what not to do. I feel completely lost." While talking, her attention is drawn to a small sketch that Jade had made. Surprised, she asks, "Where did you find this sketch? How did you even create it?" Tabitha begins to remember something from her childhood. She shares that, when she was little, she used to have a recurring dream every night. In the dream, she would see 3 large red stones and feel terrified after seeing something that frightened her. She reveals that Miranda used to have the exact same dream. Tabitha realizes that the visions she had in her dreams were of the events happening now. They were the same visions Miranda had too, unfolding just as they had seen in their dreams. This episode concludes here on a suspenseful note. See you in the next episode, and thanks for watching.